A man called Jennings Orlando Recce is becoming very famous. Not good at all for the kind of job he does. You see, Jennings is a Recce officer, okay? His nature of job demands that he almost doesn't exist. Yeah, I'll explain that in a minute. But first, let us clear this misunderstanding. Yeah, this lack of understanding about something that is key here. Yeah, Recce officers are not cops. The Recce company is in fact a crack unit of soldiers. KDF. That stands for Kenya Defense Forces. Now I get it. I know why there's a confusion. The General Service Unit, indeed, historically, has had policemen. Indeed, in the old days, what the GSU was best known for, they had another nickname. It was FFU, Fanya Fujo Wone. Essentially, they were riot police. However, take note of the name General Service. Not specific service, General Service Unit. Let me just stop there, because anyway, we're not supposed to know too much. I'm heading towards dangerous ground, because this is a very sensitive security area. But trust me, Recce guys are not policemen. They are not. Now, the very latest is that we have been told what Jennings Orlando has told the investigators. And the long and short of what he has said is that he went nowhere near the apartments where Monica Kimani was killed. What happened is that he met Joey at about 6. They had drinks at a Kilimani pub until about 8, and then they left together. And then Joey dropped him at a petrol station and told him to give him a few minutes. He has to see somebody who has come from South Sudan. And Joey left and came back at about 11 p.m. And they did not discuss his visit to Monica. And they proceeded on. Now investigators asked him why he didn't come forward earlier. And according to Jennings, he said he was in shock. Now. Hapa kuna mahesabu haingii. Translation, something here does not add up. Now, Club 1999 members will have already taken in my latest sensitive recording that mentions this man called Jennings. And members of the club will remember I said that we're waiting for a sign which should come out latest by October 2nd. However, here's the bombshell. The sign has already emerged. Folks, I do not want to believe what these latest developments are telling us. But they're telling us very loudly. And no matter how I don't want to believe, no matter how much I want to block my ears, I still can't ignore the bare facts on the ground. Now, my sincere apologies to my beloved channel members because I know I've lost you there. But trust me, this is not an issue I can discuss here. No way. So it's very easy to become a club member. All you need to do is use the email address you see on your screens right now, and you'll get an automated response giving you full payment instructions. I'm sorry. However, there's a lot we can discuss here. So let's discuss what we can discuss here. Now, as I said, there's something here that does not add up. Picture this. We're told by investigators, the same investigators who are still leaking out information, they told us that Jennings Orlando was on the run. They even told us they suspected he had fled to Tanzania. They told us this Jennings guy visited witch doctors in Mombasa for protection. That's what investigators told us. Now, all of a sudden, the man appears in court, a very highly trained individual, appears in court, not to be charged, but for detectives to get more time with him, without charging him. And then now the latest, which has come out today, is that investigators are saying most likely, Bwana Jennings will be a witness, not a suspect. The man who was on the run, but then suddenly appeared in court, is not a suspect. Investigators believe is much more likely to be a witness. Don't you find that strange? Now, the Recce squad are based at the Ruiru barracks. Ruiru is quite a distance from the Nairobi CBD. You go along the Thika highway. Now, this Recce officer travels all the way from Ruiru to Kilimani to meet Joey. And most probably he used public means. It's quite a distance. You'd need at least 2 hours, assuming that the road is clear, no traffic, which of course is unlikely. And he comes all this way for a drink and nothing else. No major issue to be discussed, nothing. He just comes for a drink. Possible, but more than a little fishy, according to me. You will also remember the same investigators told us that a man they believe was Jennings exchanged $4,000 at the Isli area for Kenya shillings. Now, $4,000 is about 400,000 Kenya shillings. That is what investigators told us. So where did the money come from? Not many of us can come across that kind of money just like that. Even if you have a well-paid job somewhere, some middle manager or something, 400K is not money you just come across just like that. So where did the money come from? Have investigators interrogated this area? Folks, in my humble view, there's too much here that just doesn't make sense. Something else interesting. You'll have noticed that we are still getting information from the investigators on an ongoing murder investigation. That has never happened before. But there's more. Now we have a local NGO that is demanding that Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko be questioned concerning the murder. The claim being made is that Jackie Maribe was with Sonko, when this murder was happening. Or rather, on the day this murder went down. Okay? Now, what all this tells us is that it seems there's a kind of battle, not even seems. Clearly, there's a kind of battle being fought out in the media. On one side, we have the investigators releasing information hot off the presses, hot from an ongoing investigation, which never happens anywhere in the world. Never ever. Then on the other side, we also have other unknown people also releasing information. And an example of that is this latest demand by an NGO that Sonko be questioned. What all this very clearly tells us is that there's much more, much more to this than most of us realize, including yours truly. In other words, this thing is deep. Now, you know the saying that goes, when elephants fight, it's the grass that gets hurt. In other words, when big people clash, it is the ordinary citizens who get hurt. And what is emerging here, especially after the arrest of Bwana Jennings, it has been made very clear, is that we have some very, very powerful people involved in this particular case. And those powerful people, are fighting each other in the press. Now, there's one other thing which I also found a little strange. According to Jennings Orlando, his insinuation in his statements is that he hardly knows Joey. He says he has only known him for 3 months. Now, before Jennings emerged, all reports that we have been hearing about this relationship between Joey and this Recce officer, all of them, without fail, have said that the two are very close. So which one is it? Are they close or do they hardly know each other? Okay, of course, the implications here are huge, because if he hardly knows Joey, then the farther away he can be distanced from whatever crime Joey is suspected of. And of course, the closer they are, the more difficult it is to believe that Jennings was not told much about what Joey was doing that night or suspected of doing that night. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to push blame or guilt in a particular area. No way. All I'm doing is I'm trying to make sense of this latest statement. Because in any investigation, you take statements from everybody. And what is supposed to happen, all those statements are supposed to corroborate each other so that they all make sense together. However, whichever statement in the bunch, whichever statement in the entire lot does not make sense or contradicts what is already in the other statements, has to have a big question mark drawn right across it. Now, it is possible for many people to tell the same lies. For instance, they can meet before giving statements to the police, and they all seem to have the same story. However, the first thought that comes to mind when you have one very strange statement that seems to contradict most of the others, the first thing that comes to mind is that it's not true. Somebody is not telling the truth. Or at the very least, there are some things in their statements that are not exactly true, even if the others are accurate. In fact, most Kenyans following this case closely are now starting to get dizzy. And that is hardly surprising, because if you take somebody around in circles, they'll get dizzy and confused. And this is exactly what seems to be happening here. We're just being taken around in circles, as per the information that is seeping out. Now, before I go, I'd like to mention something else of great interest that is pending. There is a team of investigators that was sent to Juba, South Sudan. To do what? To investigate the background of the deceased, and if possible, to find out how much money she was carrying when she left Juba for Nairobi. Now, I'm informed that that team has not yet come back. And even if they come back, will they reveal all? Will they reveal what they have found out in South Sudan? Like they have revealed all this other information? What if that information is too hot to handle? That's a possibility. Now, there's some people on this channel, and indeed many Kenyans, who are of the view that whatever Monica did, whatever her past is completely irrelevant. And what is relevant here was the murder, what was done to her. And therefore, this effort by investigators to dig into the past of Monica Kimani is not right. It is wrong, according to these people. Okay, I don't agree. Why? Because in a murder investigation, there's nothing which is not important. Everything is important because you need a complete picture in order to solve any murder mystery. And that especially includes the life of the deceased, the victim. As painful as it must be, to the family and those who are close to the late Monica, it is something that has to be done. If the objective is to arrive at the truth and solve this mystery, it must be done. It cannot be avoided. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.